Hello and welcome to Swaay.Health, where we bring you the latest trends and interesting stories from the brightest minds in healthcare marketing. I'm Colin Hung, and I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee for the Marketing360 conference. And I'm about to turn over the interviewer's role to my friend Jeremy Rogers from Indiana University Health. He's going to be interviewing Scott Schuster from Abundant Health Acquisitions. They're going to talk about what they're seeing here at the conference and what trends they're seeing in the industry. Let's get to it.
Hey Scott, I'm Jeremy Rogers. How are you?
I'm good. Scott Schuster.
Where are you from, Scott?
Chicago. How about you?
Indiana. Work at IU Health. How about yourself?
I work for a company called Abundant Health Acquisition, or AHA.
Okay. What does AHA do?
AHA creates solutions to make hospital websites more retail-like and consumer-friendly.
Got it. So we've met for a few years. You're Northwestern. So how do you like AHA so far?
AHA has been wonderful. We're solving real problems that health systems need to solve.
Okay. Awesome. And how are you enjoying Healthcare Marketing 360 so far?
So far, the conference has been exceptional.
Okay. Any key themes you've heard?
It's a lot of we're finally doing the things we've been talking about doing. We're finally revisiting digital experiences. We're working on burnout, which is somewhat of a net new issue, and PR and marketing are starting to really talk
so
together.
you were on the provider side for several years. Now that you're on the vendor side, how are those challenges looking different to you? Any new perspectives?
Well, I hate to say things like COVID was a positive because obviously it affected so many people in a negative way, but for healthcare marketers, we're finally doing some of the things like we've been talking about doing for a long time. The unfortunate part is because of hospital finances, we're also dealing with increasingly limited budgets, and so it's hard to actually do the things that we now know we want to do.
Absolutely. So if you were to talk to yourself in your former role on the system side, what advice would you give? What perspective? What other angle would you look at?
I think trying to find your best friend in IT, trying to find your best friend on the innovation team, and trying to break down the silos is something I knew then, but I would double down on now, and just trying to work across the organization. I think that's
very insightful. Now that you've seen more health systems, like any commonalities, any differences? I mean, clearly, if you've seen one organization, you've seen one.
Yes.
But what unique things have you noticed in recent years?
I feel like there are more experienced owners, more of these roles that are cross-functional, right? Mm-hmm. Like a Deirdre at Swaay.Health, who's owning the customer experience, and that's needed because we are starting to come to that realization that patients are consumers first.
Absolutely. Now, is that the norm these days, or you see that's just now emerging?
I think it's snowballing a little bit.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's the norm, but I think the bigger the institution, the more they're waking up to needing that role.
Okay, so maybe the more progressive institutions?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Interesting. On the AHA side, what are the main problems you're hearing from clients these days? Any common themes you're hearing over and over again?
They're dealing with a lot of point solutions that have sort of limited customization.
Okay.
And so that's part of where our value proposition comes in, is being able to sort of take a good product and make the experience of that product better.
Okay, so do you help them rationalize different platforms, like the Venn diagram, the overlaps? How do you guys work in that space?
Yeah, so we don't actually try to get you to change the tech platform. We say, take the things that are best and use them for the thing they're best at, and not the things they're less good at, right?
Okay.
And try to meld those things together. And then, so we layer on that extra experience of you may have Kairos for your Find a Doctor, and then keep using that for managing your data for your doctors, but don't just use the generic Kairos experience. We can help you make that experience better, make it what you want it to be.
Love it, love it. Now, have you looked at the agenda for tomorrow?
I can speak better to the people I've talked to today.
Okay.
LCMC.
Yeah.
She was talking about burnout.
Very impressive presentation. She did a great job.
I agree. So I want to talk to her about it. Obviously, I know you're speaking at the end of the day.
I've heard there's a rumor about that. I don't know.
I am looking forward to that.
I wouldn't stick around for
Data
it,
and
Scott.
personalization, that is going to be an interesting topic, and I think an important one.
I hope so.
I look forward to it.
Awesome. Colin, what do you think? Was that good?
Hey, I want to thank Jeremy and Scott for coming on camera and frankly giving me a break and for talking about some of those interesting trends. I really enjoyed their conversation. And hey, if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Also, head on over to Swaay.Health, that's Sway with 2 A's, .health, where you can find more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you on the next episode.